I attempt to build a massive megacity. Tens of thousands of people living in one single place. I have to survive storms, incompetence, and myself. Can I do it? Let's land now. So we need a lot of resources, fast. So the very first thing we're going to do is frostbreak in as many directions as possible. We appear to have nothing useful in any good location. In fact, with coal quite clearly all the way over there, we're going to have to start frost breaking towards it. So grabbing the coal, we're grabbing every single resource I possibly can. People will be cold for the first few chunks of their life. But let's face it, if I don't do this, they won't have a life. Possible. There's even oil all the way over there we're going to try to grab, which means crossing over in a really awkward way of broken snow and ice. That will take time, but we're going to go for it. And speaking of go for it, the machinists, give me your money. The thinkers, give me your money. And the foragers, give me your money. Another thing we're going to put down is the council hall. The more laws we can get passed early, the better things will be. We need the laws to make our people happy. We need our people happy because otherwise they get a little bit stabby. And they usually stab me because I'm the one who's in charge. I am their steward until I can blame someone else for it. Everything is being frostbroken. Not a single building in sight apart from the council hall, where all of these muppets can come and tell me what they think of me. With the council active, some of the first walls we're going to have to do are the important ones like the city. We need basic necessities. We want people to have production increase, paid essentials. We want them to pay us a little bit so that we get more money coming in. Will they do it? They better. If they don't, this is a waste of a vote. But we need 50. You've done it! People are now paying for things. Good! This isn't communism. You are literally paying for your lives. If you don't have a life and we'll throw you outside. Coal is being massively uncovered. The first housing district is down. And I'm trying to work around the newest hub I've put down to keep everyone warm. This will solve a lot of things in the future, but for now, it's just what we have. So how can I make it that every single piece of land is being used effectively? We probably can't indeed, but every single section I can use is going to be. We're going to make this work out properly or we're going to suffer. But with that efficiency or whatever, as I stare blankly at a map, I need to get a few extraction districts out to get some prefabs. Prefabs are super important. We need them now. We also, of course, need a huge amount of coal, which we're going to start grabbing as much of as possible. We are going to make sure that coal stays good. We're going to make sure that coal stays warm. It's going to be cold. It might be there for quite a while. So a heating hub is going down. And a fuel stockpile hub is going down too. This should hopefully keep that going for quite a long time because there's a chance of storm. So, housing, food, and materials. If materials run out, things stop working because that's quite literally how we keep them running. Down here, apparently, in the gap between this there's actually a plus 20 heat section. It also gives my people squalor. So I'll be using that as much as possible and probably putting another heating hub down there. But we now have enough housing for everyone. And some upgrades, so we can actually start putting down some research institutes. We need those for researching, obviously enough. We're not getting enough food, we're not getting enough people. We need to keep expanding. So that being said, it's time for my people to provide some food themselves. Please vote for it, you absolute insane people. If you don't, you will die. The insane people only just voted for it. Apparently no one really wants food, no one really wants to survive. The first food district is now down to get even more food. We are still low on money and prefabs, but that is needed. We are slowly inching our way towards the oil. To get the oil, we do need to upgrade our generator. Right now it can only do coal. The next upgrade can do oil and steam. So there's a few things we need to do. Upgrading, surviving, mostly surviving. With money drastically low, prefabs drastically low, and the coal drastically high, we have nothing to do but wait. We have frost broken over to the oil, so we can now start using that once we get the upgrade. All what we really need is research. So research will be up and running eventually. And the Research Institute goes down, one of our many, many housing districts. Food is still a problem. Housing is not yet a major problem, but still quite up there. And we have access to the beginnings of food. We have a lot of things being readied. We're bringing in durable goods so that people stop trying to use as many. This will solve a few more issues. We need goods for people to be happy. And if goods break, we need to make more. We don't have the industry for that yet. So everyone's getting plastic coats, I imagine. That way they last for a long time and feel vaguely okay on the skin. We're also going to research the coal mine once we get enough heat stamps, because again, heat stamps are quite low. Luckily, 2 weeks later, we have more heat stamps. Please, for the love of God, get me this mine up and running. The coal mine research is complete and the first blasting mine is down. We need a supply of heat for storms. Food is very important. Materials are super important, but coal is the biggest thing. We can't have people if everyone freezes to death. They can be warm in the ruins or they can be dead in their functional houses. There's no middle ground. But with that, our first logistics district also goes up and running. With that, we can now start living the great life of what's out there and can we use it. Please, scouts, find me something useful. We're going to bring in mandatory schooling because my people are apparently mugging each other in the streets. I say my people, children. Horrible, feral children who refuse to learn anything useful. We'll throw them in the prison of school and see if they come out better than before. I don't think they will. School's terrible, and luckily only 5 died. Ignoring the children throwing each other off of streets and things, we're going to start sending out expeditions to try and find supplies. The more things we find early on, the better life will be for the people who survive. Another thing we must always be doing is always do research. The geothermal upgrade for the plant must be used. We can do pure oil or adaptive. We're going adaptive because we need all the supplies. There's no point building on a geothermal vent if we can't use the damn thing. We've decided to allow productive outsiders into the city. We may be outsiders ourselves, but we don't want more useless people. We barely have the resources for the good people. More people have joined us, and with them have, I think, no more groups. Good. Another 1,000 people and no extra groups. It is colder, but we should survive. We can now build a couple more districts and prepare them for the horrible rigours of being frozen. Now, we don't really want to be frozen, but we can put down more heating hubs. We build one here, we can expand this to it. More food, less coal needed, more survival, although material scarcity is going insanely up. Oh, a new group has joined us, the Proteans? What are these guys? They're merit-driven evolution. They believe in only the smartest being right. We can probably deal with that. We finally have positive food. Shelter will soon be done. Materials are significantly down, so it's time to start mining some of those. But we are getting what we need, even if, sadly, a lot of people are dying. And yes, they are in fact dying. We are finding a smelter and more people, which we are going to leave behind for now. The smelter is needed, so we're grabbing that. Welcome to the team, smelter. We have supplies coming in. An oil extraction district is going down. We're finally getting the oil, which means we'll have to start paying for the adaptive pumps. Luckily, the Proteans like me, so we're going to coordinate patient care, and then I'm going to ask for money off of them, and they like me less. But either way, we now have access to the adaptive pumps. We're after as much supplies as possible. We can easily move to another city if we fail. There's only 10,000 of us. Sorry, 9,000 of us so far. Out in the wilderness, we found even more people. We found prefabs, materials. I'm thinking we take the materials. There we are, bring them back. If we're not frost breaking with our money, then we're not doing it correct. Always research, always frost break, always get some kind of law passed. A whiteout is arriving in 80 weeks, and it is a mine flooding whiteout. Apparently it will flood our coal mines with snow, which will mean they don't get used very well. Cool, there's new whiteout types. That's a good thing. We wanted that. Either way, we now have a plan. We have 80 weeks and the Legionnaires are here. We now have a military force roaming our city. Cool, I've always wanted you guys to be here. The housing keeps spreading over the massive cliff. It's getting colder, but we have the coal to survive. I quite like how it looks. I love vertical city builders. So having this much housing just over a cliff, this is my style of game. Keep building, keep growing, keep making massive stretches of road just disappear out to go grab coal, and we're officially out of prefab construction. Now we just start building our own. We're currently voting for dutiful youth, which apparently no one really wants, so we're going to get the foragers to vote for it if they go for the bio-waste hothouse research, which, yes, we do need. And that's still 50-50. So, machinists, what do you want? Do you want the mass-produced goods law? For the machinists, we're going for the deep melting drills. This will allow us to get the massive supplies underneath our area. So we're doing that, and we're going to have to start researching a lot of things. So another research building is now needed. Thanks, people, I hate you. We currently have huge amounts of coal stored away, which is great, but now we need even more storage. Right now, we have too much coal stored away, which is a thing I never thought I'd have to say, yet here we are. A heating hub is being built near my industrial and extraction district for oil, because we need the heat to be significantly down. The Legionnaires are happy with us because of our research, and now we need to keep on going. We need the melting deep deposits. If we don't have these, what's the point? So let's start digging to get the deeper deposits. But now we need cores, which means we send out more scouts to find cores. And I'm talking about the actual thing, not the drink. No one likes cores, the drink. I forgot to turn the generator off and 500 people just died? That is entirely my fault. I'm sorry about the 500 people who died. Oh my god, I didn't turn the generator off. Well, ignoring that, we're going to have the main districts in the centre try and produce some prefabs. The more building materials we get, the faster we build. And the more we forget about the 500 people I accidentally burnt to death in the central district. The Legionnaires are rioting in my housing district. I've offered them research, but we'll have to see what happens with that, because now they are quite literally shutting down one of my housing districts, and now people are freezing to death. Our coal will very actively fill in 9 weeks. We have 900 people left who haven't been burnt to death. It's time to unlock the other outpost. We need to get the way stations up and running. We need as many people as possible. It's time to truly explore the wastelands before we bring in more people. A few people may freeze to death out there, but that's genuinely a risk I personally am willing to make. Finally, we go for supported quarantine because I think we just need to keep our sickness down. We're not down with the sickness, that music is banned. And I think the city's going well. The second logistics is nearly up and running, and we can start sending teams out there to super explore. Supplies are starting to still drop, but we are getting towards maintaining it and upping the numbers. We've found a vast coal deposit of 400 more coal. We're going to establish that and then bring it back in. We're going to keep on exploring it out into the wilderness where it's still safe. But with the extra coal, we should be able to survive the winter storms. We don't need the coal currently because we are completely full, but we do need potential future proofing. And right now we don't have much money coming in because we're currently paying for a remembrance ceremony for 2.5 months. That's more than the Queen got. And finally we grabbed the Vanguard logistic base to send more Frostland teams out there. It requires a lot of people and we could have automated it, but we need more teams scouting. We also need to prepare for harvesting funerals. They're not the best, but if you die, your organs should be used to help other people. It's freezing. Your body could be chucked out in the street and left there for months until we need, say, your heart, your liver, or your eyes. A bio-waste hothouse is being built in one of my 2 food districts. We do need some more food coming in. We still need some more materials coming in, but we have food sorted and housing will be done soon. The actual housing sprawl is now across the lip of the great area. Oh, and even more houses are popping up. Everyone now does maintenance to keep the usage down. Everyone. Women, children, men, dogs, random hamsters which have survived the force. Everything does it. Which means we now have to start working on, what is this? Working on getting stuff sorted. Some of my buildings just shut down. We need to start transferring materials back to the home base. Only you may have noticed the only one we found is quite far away. Unless this one can do it. But you may also notice there is a storm on its way. We can't get the supplies, so we're going to have to shut down. And speaking of shut down, one of my buildings is already shut down due to a lack of materials running it. So we're going to have to hope for the best as the snowstorm strikes. And strike it has. The coal is down, the generator is being supercharged, but we will last for a period of time. Look at it. You can't see a thing. We are mainly surviving. Although bits of our buildings seem to be still breaking constantly. Why are you broken? Stop that. And just like that, the storm should be over. But the huge lack of materials is destroying us. We just don't have any coming in. And vast chunks of my city are running out. So we need to get... what is this? Materials colony. These supplies over. It's going to be turned into a colony. We'll work on that. So bring it to here, then to here. And there we go. That'll be the supplies we now need to survive. Oof. Oh, we can't run it till we establish a settlement. We need to get prefabs and a core, which means that is useless to us. That was a waste of money, which means this one is our priority. All the way over here. And we can't do anything about it till we see what's over here. So let's try and bring this resources home, eh? With supplies still absolutely being a nightmare, this entire central district is being turned into an extraction district because we need the materials. And I can't rely on my outsourcing teams because they are finding nothing. It's time to start getting factories down. We need salvaging factories to start salvaging things. We don't have enough goods, we don't have enough prefabs. To the point where we can't even repair destroyed houses. With everything going well, I've decided we need some guarding forces under my name. Now, a lot of people are for me, and only a couple are against me. But with this, the iron fist of the new captain can pass. I don't want to be the steward, I want to be their god captain. And that's one step closer. We found a core in the wild, a pilotless dirigible. Bring it in. We can now do lots of things with that. And we found more materials, yes! Maybe we're not doomed as I thought we were. The cold is getting worse, but we have more industry down. Some of this can now officially make goods. The rest of it will make actual stuff we can use. But we are slowly expanding and growing every available surface. And our very first core, which we have found, is being turned into a deep melting drill. This will allow us to have access to the coal beneath. We will always have supplies of coal coming in. And with that we have hundreds of millions of coal pouring. Another storm has been spotted on the distance, about 360 weeks several years in. There will be another whiteout, unknown what type, but the last one screwed our minds over. So many more people will live amongst us, we need so many more houses set up, and we are currently poor. So I'm going on a begging trip to make people pay for their own housing, because I'm not doing it. The Proteans decided they don't like us ignoring them, so they've decided to destroy their own houses instead. Personally, if they die, I don't really care, so well done you guys. Just freeze to death and solve so many of my problems as I try and build more housing for the ones I do actually like. In an attempt to stop people completely destroying everything, I'm going to go and get myself subsidised housing blocks. It requires a little bit of resources, but I do, in fact, need shelter. So please, build me bigger houses. The protests are making my trust fall. This is the point where I truly wish I could just send in the guards. We can negotiate. Don't want to, but we can. I'm genuinely thinking, make other people really happy, and then send in a large military force to crush each and every one of them to dust. 2 subsidised housing blocks are being built in other places to stop, the riots killing people, because trust is still falling for some reason. Why are other people not trusting me? No one likes these guys. No one. But now I have to do one of their own votes, which no one else wants. I'm doing a vote to make people like me, to stop the riots, to make those people believe in me again, even though no one wants the votes and no one cares for those rioting. This is so political, and they still don't like me. There we go, I've paid you. A Vanguard logistic bay is being built on one of my 2 expeditions. That gives me even more people to send out into the wilderness. The protest has ended. Because of their actions, I am condemning the Proteans. Yeah, sod all of you. Who cares if you're more upset and angry? You annoyed me and I hope you all freeze to death. A rail hub is being built next to 2 of my industrials. I'm mainly building it because I like the look of an actual rail system going into my city. It looks cool having the roads and rail systems around. This will make things significantly more efficient. I'd like to build one over here too, but that will require another one built over here and more industry. So we might as well get to it and build another industrial segment. As the city grows and expands and society requires more of me, it's time to start getting watchtowers down. We need to start keeping an eye on people and making sure they know I'm upset with them. We need to keep on expanding the routes. We need to eventually get these settlements up and running, which does require cores and a skyway connection and settlement heating research, but we need more food, we need more supplies, we need more everything. So, more scouts? The machinists have agreed with me. We need an isolation prison. It's time to start putting people away where they can't cause me problems. I've just realised a new storm is hitting in about now-ish. Didn't notice at all. And we now have a problem with a storm being here. If I'd noticed that, I'd have been able to solve that. I have not. So now I need to keep on researching. So we need to go out into the city and deal with settlement heating. We need to get some external settlements up and running to really help build out our empire. So, like, you know, this one here can be turned into a settlement. So can this one here. We need them to be settlements. We need them to be settlements nowish. So that requires a core, which we are still hunting down, and a lack of a storm, which we're dealing with now. Oh, and the worst time for population increase. 3 or 4 days before a mine flooding whiteout. Thank you, people. Stop having children during quite literal death-defying storms. Like, honestly, it's the weirdest choice ever. And the storm has arrived. We're already at 19 weeks of coal. Not the best. So what I'm going to do is up the generator, which will give us access to 34 weeks of coal. How are we doing on oil? Already being used immediately. We'll work on that. We're going to start researching a way to turn coal into liquid oil. Because obviously oil is better. We've studied a way of using coal and so on. Now we do have a squalor going up because we're out of materials. We're about to run out of coal. And our generator's about to explode, which means we have to turn it off. Which means we no longer have heat and we have another 2 weeks to go. So things are looking slightly dire. Danny dire for the city. I'd like to get another pump jack up and running. So that's what we're going to do now. This will give us access to even more oil. Of course it's a bit late, but it should help out a little bit. And with that sorted, we're getting skyways too. We need skyways to start connecting up the colonies. We'll send people out and start activating them. As long as no one freezes to death, which is a 50-50 chance. But just like that, 200 people have froze to death. But we have survived the storm. Like that. So now our big goal. We need to start connecting... Oh, that's broken. Connecting the towns to what we need. So we need to get the towns up and running as fast as we can. We'll start connecting all the towns we can. Grabbing some extra people. We'll of course need to get some more housing, but I'm willing to do that. And we'll carry on building and growing. With this sorted, we can start sending out people to bring us in materials and coal and so on. We just need, of course, to find, well, some population and the cores. We didn't find the cores before because my people were sent back home because of a minor thing known as the storm. The Proteans have begun rioting, which is a problem. So we're going to give them money and grant an agenda? I mean, it's a problem for me because they're quite literally in a housing district. But we're going to send in the guard squads. I don't care if they die. No one does it in my territory. Out in the wilderness, we found more food. We found a treasury. We'll ignore that for now. And we found oil. We have yet to find any cores, which is what we're of course looking for. But you know, 50-50. We found coal. We found oil. We found 0 cores. With scouting ongoing, it's time to make sure my scouts don't die in the future. So we're going to be grabbing the scouts' headquarters. This makes them better at not dying. A little bit late, but the survivors HQ is being built. If it gets built faster than these guys finish exploring, maybe they won't die. Are they now deadly? We will find out how many of them live. In the crevasse fields, we didn't lose anyone, which is lucky. And we've also found an automaton who we can either repair or take the core. Oh, I need the core. I need the core. We can find more people. People keep being born, but the core is important. Come back home with us. And with that, we are going to build this. This is requiring some Frostland teams to permanently man it, but now we actually have even more supplies coming in. We still need more materials, and why is everyone being loud? But we're doing better. It's time to try and get the Steward's Militia done. I need some people to vote for us, but I think we should be able to get it going. If I can get enough people to negotiate with, everyone should be happy, except the people who aren't with me. We just need 12 votes. So all we need, 12 votes. And there's clapping. We have the Steward's Militia. It's now my city. We have lots of agreements made to make sure I'm officially in charge. We're now having to do a lot of research for other people. I don't want to, but we have to. We need to get more things in place so that I am their de facto leader. With the cores, what we can do now is set up the coal. We're going to create a settlement here and have it bring in coal. The Imperial smelter we're going to upgrade to bring in even more materials. Now materials are quite close to what we need, and coal is basically sorted. That will solve a lot of problems and also take a lot of people outside of our city to bring in more people to send out more people outside of our city. It's a slow, continuous thing. With 20,000 people calling us home, we need to expand the outer outposts, which we have a lot of random things going on. And we also need to find more cores. We need so many more cores, but cores are now our priority target. Anywhere it shows there might be a core, we're sending a team to have a look. So with that, we should be absolutely prepared. We do have a few minor issues at home, and I'd like to very much get some more ultimate power under my arms. But for now, we let things grow, and we're probably going to put down a few more houses, because we always need houses. I need to get the materials up and running too. 2 more housing districts and a heating hub have been placed down. Frost breaking towards the unlimited materials has been done. A new industrial district has been placed. That should give us more industrial, more housing. We need it because a lot of people have joined us, but we still need access to food. So I'm looking at probably putting down better things, although we are currently the poor. Luckily, a lot of people believe in us, so I'm going to try and do something. Don't make any votes. Damn it, they immediately went for a vote. This is a good one, because it drops outpost upkeep, but what we really, really need is people to agree with us. We need to get... Oh, thought correction prison, me that. I need people to give me power. Luckily, the Frontier Footholds has passed, so all my outposts are now cheaper, which means I have more scouts. Did we find any good cores? We found new technology of a model pump jack. Grab that. We found some cores. Well, 1. We found an automaton. We'll take the core because we're using mass amounts of people. And we found 10 cores stored away. Alright, yes. But as always, we keep travelling north. We need to find more materials, more food, more cores, more everything. But there we are. Plenty of cores pouring in. I'm just getting some tech. What did we get? Oh, don't know. Either way, the Legionnaires don't like us anymore. A deep melting drill has been built into the food to get access to that fertile soil because we need it. We need all of it to start making better food. We need to upgrade the hothouse too, but that requires even more money, which we're going to straight up put down once we get it unlocked. We need more extraction. We need advanced pump jacks for that as well. We're going to put 1 down over here for even more oil storage. We're going to uphold the law and punish this woman for having a child. She's trying to keep her child to herself. We're communal parenting in this place. You don't get your own child. Weird comment, but there we are. I'm more at it upgrading the coal mining settlement because we need more supplies of resources. So there's now 4,000 people living outside of the city. That's 30,000 people living within the Empire. A lot of people don't like this idea, but a lot of people are willing to vote for the idea. We just want to figure out where they want it. So we're going to make a few deals. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's enough on the deals. So we're going to have to hope that 5 people join me on being guided on their voting rights. Right now, I can't. That's clapping. We've got guided voting. They now believe in what I tell them to say. Merit-based housing has been brought in, so there's better housing. And, of course, I get paid more. So more money means more housing, and more housing means more people. And more people means this area here becomes more of a mess. And it's always expanding, as you can see. A new storm is on the horizon. Oil gelling whiteout. That sounds great. We're still expanding north to find things, although we're finding less things than I would like. So we might have to start going south and west. Right now the west has not been explored that much, so teams can go out there. And it's mostly dangerous or safe. There's no deathy patches. It does mean some of my scout teams are missing limbs, but we do have a good limb-producing industry. We definitely need some more industrial buildings. Now, I like the idea of the buildings pouring over these 2 steps into the river. Now, it's frozen as heck and might be for decades, but eventually it will flood and kill them all. But I think with industry, it should be good enough to prepare some kind of dam. Is this a river? I mean, it just starts here. Is it just an inlet bay? I'm going to propose voting the Bureau of Propaganda. 62 people are on my side if I guide them. We just need 5 more. Will they join me? Oh, we are 1 off. We're going to make a couple of deals next time, and then we're going to pass that. The Bureau will rise. The storm's getting closer. I'm currently trying to pass the birthing program. It's a radical idea, but I think we may... Oh, people didn't like that. I think we may need it. We need more and more and more people. So we're going to try and pass it right about now, which means I've done all of the things people liked. It's already being... Nope, this is a different one. So we're going to get this one set up. We're going to push it, but we need to make sure everyone is on track of agreeing with us constantly. No dissent is allowed. That whole Bureau of Propaganda fiasco. Not having that again. Oh, no one like that. Everyone's unhappy with me now. However, with that, we're going to get the generator upgrade too. So it'll allow us to start doing more cool things, like choosing which resources to push. We are currently using a lot of resources, which is a problem, but also gaining a lot of resources. We will be able to survive for 30 weeks, which is not enough, I've just noticed. Luckily, the adaptive injectors are quite easy to make. So putting them down, we are slowly running out of resources. With that, because we're adapting, say, oil production, we do need some more food, we do need some more housing somehow, and we do need some more goods. In fact, you can now be goods. Good on you. There we are. And with that, we can start doing this. So we want oil, or do we want the coal to be adaptive? If we go for the coal, we get oil. And we don't lose that much coal. We can now survive for a very long time while on overdrive, which isn't the best. We'll have to turn it off in a few days, but it helps short term. The overdrive has been turned off, and we aren't losing that much in the way of coal, if I'm bluntly honest. And we are expanding more and more of my industry. We are making a lot more things. So there we are, even more goods and resources are being supplied. We do need to work on it a bit more to make things better, but we now have access to mostly a lack of food. We need a bit more materials, and our goods surplus is a bit down, but we are getting there. This city is now almost self-sustainable. My god, that's too many houses. 2 more housing districts and a heating hub have been put down. This should solve our housing problem for at least a few more minutes. And when this whole storm goes down, we start looking for more places to put down even more places for my people to live, work and die. We need access to all of the outposts. My god, this is a sprawling city. Even in this, look how many there are. It's just everywhere now. This is probably how bloody Midgard happened. Look at it. Oh, we're low on coal. We're low on... Oh, we made it. We bloody just made it. The coal mining settlement was turned off. That was weird. You go back online. I think this one wasn't fully explored because they just got it in just in time. We found a landmark, which is absolutely glorious, and more oil. We don't need more oil, but we've found more oil. Where the hell is the food? So this here could also be a possible settlement. I'm thinking of activating this coal as well, so we're going to go for that. We just need some more teams. So once the teams are back from scouting here, and here, they're going to go and activate even more coal being brought in. This should hopefully get this powered up and work on other things too, although food is still an issue. So let's give this an advanced hot house for food. There we are. And what we need to now sort out is materials. I'd like to find a materials outpost, but for now, it's a bit awkward. Over to the west, we found whales, which we're going to take, and we found a food supply, which is just a herd. So we're sending a team out there to keep doing that. But we carry on scouting the wasteland. You can see we found a lot of things. Eventually, however, we are going to have to activate this. I know for a fact this is another city. This will give us even more people and more scout teams. But we, of course, have to run it better. But for now, we have loads of coal. So we have coal sorted, we have oil sorted. We need to get squalor sorted, but we have enough resources and supplies to start a new city. It's a material city, but I'd quite like a food city. I don't know where they are. We're going to regulate procreation by having a birthing program. This is a radical law. It needs to be done. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Except me. So the birthing program has now been done. A lot of people are going to be against it because we're heading towards a Matrix-style birth growing program. But we now have it sorted. I'm going to keep adding money to all of the groups so they slowly like me more, because we're going to get the Bureau of Propaganda set up. Once that's done, there's nothing they can do to stop me. Despite the fact we'll be paying for it, we're also going to get workers' villages set up. This will mean that they're getting more shelter, slightly more heat, but they are a lot more useful. So everyone's getting something out of this, except for me, who's not being paid taxes, which I will eventually recoup. Workers' houses are sorted. Now we're going to be going for the most important thing I've ever had in my life. City-run alcohol shops. It's time for the pubs to return to this world. Why are things breaking down? Stop it. I'm going to try again for the Bureau of Propaganda. We might have a chance of doing it. We have a chance of doing it. The Bureau of Propaganda lives. Everyone now believes what I say is truth, for I am their god steward and soon to be their god captain. The Legionnaires are protesting, which is a bold move for them to do, considering I don't care about their opinion, but we are going to give them one of the things they wanted, because I want it. Pubs are now officially being done. We're calling them city-run alcohol shops, but they're pubs. The British love their pubs, and this one will be the pubbiest pub of all worlds. There you go. You guys happy now? Will you stop rioting? Yes, you will. Well done. I don't have to kill you yet. One of the hubs I really want, just because it looks really cool, is the air hub. It actually puts like Air Force around. Now, it just removes workforce requirements, and that's it. But I just love the idea of airships moving around the city. So let's get that purely for aesthetics. How much do people like me? They don't like me enough for secret police. 7-4, 35 against. How about martial law? No, we need to work on that. 3 different air hubs have been built around the city, and another rail hub has been built because this makes this area more efficient. It does mean, however, we are minus 400 materials every week, which is a problem because we're not mining that many materials. Luckily, we can keep on working on it. There are a few more extraction-based places I can go to. They may cause a teeny tiny bit of squalor, but I think it's a risk I'm willing to take because we need to sort this out. There's a minor riot going on. We could completely destroy it with my huge amounts of guard, but we're going to ignore it for now and carry on expanding their housing, which, again, is always needed. I've quite literally blocked one of my housing districts in. This one here is only a tier 1. I can't upgrade it because it's surrounded by every other. There's a single spot just there it can be built in, and I can't quite get it to work. So I should be keeping an eye more often on what I'm building because I am screwing myself long term. Trust falls due to ongoing protests. Ooh, don't make me send in the squads. I will do it. Let's grant you an agenda. We won't vote for it, but there you go. You get to make the next decision. Stop being annoying. A huge amount of extra factories, like salvaging factories, coal liquefiers, and goods factories have been built inside the industrial areas. This will allow a huge amount more supply of resources. It does require a lot more heat and a lot more of my materials I don't have much of, but it was something I needed to do. I'm also going to keep voting down every single one of these things I'm telling people that they can have a vote on. Out in the wilderness I found huge amounts of oil, huge amounts of coal, lots of which can just straight up just be settlements. But I've yet to find any materials. We're travelling further and further and further out, and yet I can't find materials. Just coal after coal. 2 more extraction districts are being built over here for materials. We actually do have an unlimited material supply over here, which we are setting up right now. We do, of course, need it. We are then going to carry on expanding more and more and more. If we can build it, we will build it. We just need more materials, more supplies, more everything. And there we go. The materials start flowing in their hundreds. We have now solved that for the very limited future. However, people are getting upset with us right now, so we may have to start agreeing to things. The protest just killed 116 people. We're sending in the guard squads. We are happy with people right up to the point they start causing problems, and then we send in the troops. So they are being hit, and they're being hit hard. I'm sorry, guys. You don't get to protest here anymore. I found a fuel colony over here, and I recognise that map. So I found a second of the cities out there, so we can easily get more supplies. We don't really need them, because again, we're looking for other things. But it's nice when it's out there and we can grab it if need be. We also benefit the edge of where we need to be. Oh god, keep going. So we're going to carry on scouting out, but we're going to have to set one of these up. I think fuel might be good. We may have to set up the other one. I've yet to find food. I've yet to find useful things. The city is genuinely becoming a nightmare. Look at what's in here. It's just insane. There's just so much going on and everyone hates me. What are you wanting? Maintain order at all cost. Yes. Maintain order at all cost. The people are uppity. We will not allow that to happen. The housing is up. Everything is up. We've got 4 of 5 issues because squalor is still squalorific. There we go. 3 more filtration towers. That should solve that. As of right now, we have 6,000 people outside of the city and 42,000 people in the city. That's 48,000 lives. Now hang on everything we do. We're going to start bringing in all the people we've left outside too. It's time to fully make sure everyone is safe. So bring in everyone we can. God, there's coal everywhere. And let's build up their housing, build up the food, and be prepared. It's time to make sure no one dies. Oh, this is the worst time to bring in people. The storm's just hit. This was the absolute worst time to bring in someone. Well, this can't possibly go badly, can it? How are we doing on the heating? We have huge amounts of fuel We have coal to last for 15 weeks. We have 3 more teams coming in. We have to last for an entire year. This was bad timing, people. When you realise that all your food is being brought in from actual hunting camps, you're thinking, well, that's a bit of a problem because now we have no food coming in. We are eventually going to run out in 23 weeks. We need more food. We need to find a food place out there. Oh, and the Legionnaires hate us now. Just minor things. Well, all I can do is carry on building and expanding. We do need some more things. We need some more industrial. We need some more waste incineration. Let's get a waste incineration there, despite the fact it costs so much. We also need access to a calibrated goods factory, which will help out even more. There we go. That will solve this and that, and also give us access to even more goods coming in. We do need some more cores. Let's get another calibrated goods factory there. And there we are. That should solve a few things. Food will run out, and we'll start eating each other within 10 weeks. Coal will run out soon. We're actually going to have to turn this off. It's about to explode. And we're going to have to see if we can find a few more people out there. We are hitting the first stage. We do have 53,000 people living within our empire. We can do better. Oh, the oil is going down significantly. We have 4 weeks of oil. Yeah, we've just run out of fuel. We just ran out of fuel. We've run out of food. People are going to die. Quick, turn on the overdrive for a bit longer. Oh, God, this is bad. Turn the intake optimization to oil. There we go. Get the coal up and running. Heating is down. Food is down. People are going to start dying. Please stay happy. We've survived. It's getting colder and colder, but we have survived. It's been many years since I first took control. The city is red, but we are now here. We are now officially warm again. We now have some food issues to deal with. I'm going to deal with them now. And there's a few broken things, but otherwise, we've survived. We survived quite well. This is officially out. Of course it is. Alright. Demolish you, and you can be officially doing that to get even more food on the table. And we still have yet to find a good supply of food. We found a load of small food camps over here, which we're going to start settling into. We just need to get as much as possible. We will be eventually figuring out what we truly need, but it's food, it's people, and it's more food. No one in the city currently likes me, I've just realised. That's a problem. Tension's low, but no one actually has trust in me whatsoever. So we're going to have to do a little bit of voting. Nope, apparently making them have an agenda, then voting down that agenda makes them hate me. Who knew? So we're going to fund a few projects. It's not going to help much, but maybe they'll like me a little bit. See? They're not liking me at all, are they? That didn't even move. What can you do? Research liberated youth. Yeah, sure. Now, we're having issues. There's a civil war. There's an assassination in the council. I'm going to go to the Proteans. They've been the greatest thorn in my side. They are an absolute nightmare, and we will deal with that. We're also going to carry on grabbing some of the coal and the oil. Apparently, we now officially need it. Apparently, we're getting to the point where we just have too much of everything, which is a surprise to me. I didn't think we had anything, but here we are, without it. All the oil is being set up to be brought back. We have food, we have supplies. The city is slightly angry, but we will deal with it. God, everyone's really upset about life. Maybe we'll just kill them all off. Well, this is an issue, isn't it? This is a big issue. With the city of all Proteans at large. Yes, I will. Let's bring in a few public executions. And we're going to round up some Proteans with our squads. We're not allowing this to happen. So we're going to have prison space and start getting a few people in the prisons. This is not allowed. Which of course means a few more prisons. You push my problems, I push you into a jail cell. These morons are straight up destroying the city and then blaming me for it. It's time to deal with the issue. Lethal force is authorized. Guard squads are being sent out to save the people and the industry. We have resources to spare. Let's start using them. The Legionnaires are very happy with us now. Everyone else, we are still working on making them happier. I accidentally hit speed victory rather than enforce peace here, which is a problem because now my guard squads are hitting people harder. That's my own fault. Now people are dying, which is a problem, but we are going to enforce peace. We're going to enforce peace as much as possible. Now, of course, it takes longer, but I need my people alive to keep running the city. So that's what we're going to do. And it looks like The rioting has stopped, mostly. People are starting to trust me again, and there's less blood on the streets. Okay, we've solved most of it. The city's back to running again. That is good. We will find a permanent solution, yeah. Okay, why do people keep voting for... Just do what you want. I have been enlisting all of the Proteans into the guard squads. We rounded up 9,000 of them, and rather than get rid of them, I put them in the squads. So we should solve all the problems by making them join my army. Now, it's not a good solution, it's the best solution. My army grows, and they no longer believe in the Protean cause. We could have built some kind of external city. We're not doing that. You will work for me and you will die for me. You also need to make sure everyone else likes me, and that's getting real bad. And there we go. You guys will all join my Steward militia. And there we go, the Proteans are gone. The city shall not fall. The city stands. Whew. There we are. We survived. People don't like me as much as they used to, but we survived. Despite all the issues, more population increase. Apparently we're just pumping out children faster than we're using them on the front lines. 3,500 people. Okay, we've hit housing issues and food issues yet again. Great. And we have another pop about to pop in. Either way, the scouts are back. It's warmer. That's good. We should be okay. The city has held again. The city likes to hold. There's always riots, there's always problems. But the Steward is eternal. And so far, I've outlasted them all. Anyone who's gone against me has either joined me or disappeared. Remember that, people. Join me or disappear. There is no middle ground. And we've hit 50,000 people in the city. The utopia has done. We have a great and glorious city. 50,000 people call it home. 6,000 people live outside. Look at this thing. This is the city of the future. Horrifying thought that may be. This is what utopia looks like. A horrible system of meh. If you want to see 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, please, of course, tell me. I will happily do more. But I have been the Fallen Shogun, looking at, technically a first look at Frostpunk 2. Some of you will enjoy it, some of you will be playing it. But I have been the Shogun. Take care, be awesome, be epic, and I'll be seeing you sometime soon.